class 11. Today we will be continuing from the same chapter, that is chapter number 2, fundamental concepts, wherein we basically will be discussing about association. I have already completed every now and then state with different connotations, and today we will be understanding what is state and what is association, but basically our main focus will be on association. So moving forward, I want to make you clear about the definition of association given by MacIver. So in your book also there is a definition by MacIver. So MacIver says that association is a group of individuals who are organized to achieve a particular object or objectives. So now there will be like a bunch of people, okay? There will be a bunch of people, they will form an association, and these association will have some singular objective or plural in sense of objectives. So when the group of people come together, it is called an organized, where they need to follow certain rules and regulation in order to meet those objectives that can be particular objective or a many objectives. So MacIver has given a brilliant definition of association. He says that an association is a group of individuals who are organized to achieve a particular objective or objectives. So moving forward, let's understand what association exactly is. An association, this can be given as a meaning plus explanation also. Okay, so an association is a voluntary organized union or a group of institution. Voluntary organized union or a group of institution. Here, voluntary means to act in one's free will. Okay. There is no force, there is no coercion for you to join certain association. Okay, you have your own free will, then is that you can join, either you don't want to join. So association is a voluntary organized union or a group of institution of some people for securing a particular need or some need. So I have already discuss the definition given by MacIver. It is the same thing. Okay, an association is a voluntary organized union. Voluntary means to act in one's free will. There is no force, there is no coercion, that no one will make you that you have to join particular group or institution in order to meet that particular needs or some needs. So if you want to join in an association, you can join because you have your free right. Okay, now if you don't want, then nobody in this earth and nobody in this world will make you to join. It's voluntary, it's in a free will. So association are of several types. Okay, there are different association. There are association of labor, trade, government and government employees and others. There are so many association. Okay, there are economic association too, example trade union, chamber of commerce and others. Each political party is also a political association. So there are different types of association found in the world. So there are labor association are there, trade association are there, drivers association are there, the person who are employees are also considered, can join an association. So there are so many association, and we can see those association in our society also. So then association like Arya Samaj, Sanatan Dharma Sabha, Jain Sabha, Singh Sabha are the religious association. So this is an example of religious association. Okay, a Sangeet Sabha, a literary society or a dramatic club are also all the cultural association. Rotary clubs, lion clubs and there are like social, they are the social services association of people. So I know that you have heard about Rotary clubs, lion clubs, because they aid, they give social services. And in this segment we talked about three association, that is religious association, cultural association, as well as service, social service association. So these are the general idea of there are different types of association. As point second and third deals with the types of association. So it's very easy, and you can find these thing in our society also, and you can make an assessment that association is this. Now there are six elements of association. Okay, number one, a group of people. Number two is voluntary membership. Number three, say shared and common interest or needs. Some sets objective goals which are to be achieved collectively. Voluntary organization, cooperation among the members, objectives, pooled resources for funds, need for action. So these are the six elements there in association. Must have a group of people, and that group of people should have voluntary membership, free will, and that collected member who are there in association should have a shared and a common interest or needs. Okay, with what they have a certain shared common interest as well as need, and that group of people who have a voluntary membership has a certain objectives or goals to be achieved. Okay, and roughly it is called as a voluntary organization also. And on top of that, and the basic and the most important thing is that number 6, because there should be cooperation among the members to achieve objectives. And in today's world we need funds to go for meeting up certain demands, meeting for certain kinds of objectives. So there are certain members who can pull the funds to meet the objectives that are laid down by the association, and each association has their own objectives and own needs to meet up. Okay, so never forget that an association has 6 elements, and that 6 elements does not is that 6 elements are unchanged wherever you go. These 6 elements are there in proper functioning of an association. So now the main thing that we will be discussing is that the difference between the state and association. So in last slides, also in last online classes, I have been discussing since the beginning of chapter 2 that state, what is state. It has 4 elements of state. We discussed what is state and society, what is state and government. And in the same way we are studying about state and association. Till here I guess that you are understanding, what is association. Now we have to look into what are the difference between state and association. It's very simple. Like in your book there are so many points. I have just point out 5 points that gives a detailed account about the difference between the state and the association. Number 1, let's talk about the difference on what basis. Okay, state is a sovereign organization, but association is non-sovereign organization. Sovereign means supreme rule. Okay, so in the word itself says non-sovereign. So let's understand the basic difference between state and association. State possesses sovereignty, means supreme. It has a supreme power over the rule, over the people, that no one is above the state. State has a supreme authority over its people. So it can use force. State can use force for securing compliance of the people to its law and policies. What this third bullet point says, that state secures, like state can use the method of force and coercion in order to make people abide the laws and policies that are laid down by the state. So all persons and group living in a territory of a state accepts the sovereignty of state and obeys its law. So every person who is inside the territory of the state will have to accept the sovereignty of a state. Sovereignty means the supreme authority of the state, and people have to obey its law. Without obeying, their state can use the method of punishing, methods of force and coercion. Similarly, association has no power to get ordered by force. So in association, it's a voluntary membership, voluntary organization, and that association has no power to make people follow rules and regulations. It cannot use force against its member. If any member disobeys the rules of association, it can at most terminate the membership of the defaulting member. Now, if it does not use any force, association does not use force, but if a member of that association does not obey the law laid down by an association, what can association do? The association simply can terminate the membership of that person. Association, a group of people will come together and they will decide that, okay, now this person is not following our rules of the association, so we can dismiss him that from today onwards you are terminated, you are transferred, or you are just you don't have to come to the association because you are not a member. There are certain norms that a group of people can pass, but it cannot use force against its member. So, number 2, state has wider objectives and association has a narrow. Objective means state has wider, association means narrow. Let's understand. The state has a wider objectives while an association has a narrow and a limited objective. Okay, limited objective. The state maintains peace, order along with it and tries to promote economic, moral, cultural, social welfare of the people. So, what does the state do? States first and foremost maintain peace and order along the territory. Okay, and it also focuses upon promoting economic welfare, moral welfare, cultural welfare and social welfare on the people of that state. State acts as improvement of welfare of all its people. State acts as a promotion of the welfare of its. So we have talked about welfare, right? Welfare is I want to make you clear the meaning that welfare is the health, happiness of person plus state. Okay, so if a person is happy, if the person is healthy, if the person is wealthy, then only that the state has given a particular welfare to its people. And the scope of its function is very vast means it has too much of scope to meet, and it has too much of functions to meet up, like securing people's rights, securing and promoting equality, liberty, giving justice. Not only that one, the state needs to attain foreign policies also, international relations also, domestic relation, domestic politics, state politics and rural politics, as well as urban politics. So in that connotation, state has a very vast scope, and it is very difficult for state to give those benefits to the people, yet state tries to give that benefit to the people in the name of welfare, So association has a limited set of objective. Okay, as people says, as the definition of MacIver has already said, that it is a group of people coming together to form a voluntary organization to promote what, just a objective or a objectives. Like objectives can be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. An association has laid down certain objectives. That's why it has a limited objective, because it is not vast. It is particularly formed or formulated by a certain group of people to assess or to get that objectives done. And some objective has just some association has just one objective. okay. And it can be made simultaneously, and it can be changed and added afterwards also. So further, each association is concerned only with the promotion of interest of its member. So in the state that it totally talks about the welfare of the people, but association only talks about what? Promotion of interest, only the interest of certain group of people or a group of its members. Other it is not defined, and other it won't touched. Now let's go to point number 3. Citizenship of a state is compulsory. Citizenship of state is compulsory, but the membership of each association is voluntary. So these statement you need to fragment it, and you need or you need to break it to understand it. It simply says that citizenship of a state is compulsory, but membership of each association is voluntary. So I have already discussed the meaning of voluntary. Now I want to make you clear the idea of what is citizenship. And this citizenship is like what means the person gives the country or a person gets rights, privileges. So in order to become a citizen, one needs to be like do certain duties as a citizen also, like they have an individual character to be given to a society. So it requires certain things, like people need to abide the rules and regulations or functions given by the country. So citizenship is of state is compulsory, but membership of each association is voluntary. So I am an Indian, I belong from India, so I must have a citizenship. Like nowadays we have Aadhaar, okay. Um, Aadhaar gives us that we are a citizen of India. And in state we are Sikkimis, okay. Like in we are Sikkimis, each state have their own citizenship given to their population. So state citizenship is compulsory, whereas there are so many association. Drivers association are there, truck driver association are there, trade unions are there, and we don't like nobody forces us to join certain association. It's free will, okay. So that is the main difference. The membership of state is very compulsory. Each person becomes citizen of his state right at the time of birth, and also remains so all after his life. Whenever a person is born, then he or she is deemed to have given the citizenship, okay. So it lasts from his birth to the death also. If he ceases to be the citizen of state, he has to become the citizen of another state. So whether be like, if I want to I want to go to the other places, like other country, we have to surrender our citizenship. Then we have to apply for the citizenship of other country or other state too. So without citizenship you are not counted. You must have a valid citizenship, okay. Now association, the members of association is voluntary. As I said, it's very voluntary, like it's a free will. No one can be forced to become a member of an association. Simple. Anyone can withdraw from membership of an association anytime. So if I found that no, this particular association, okay, drivers association is there, okay, so I don't want to be a member, I can voluntarily resign it. I can submit my resignation, and I can voluntarily resign from association. And with the grounds and with the reasons also, that solid reasons should be provided. Then what happen, I can join other association if I like, okay. So it's very simple. Number fourth is the state can impose as taxes. The state can impose as taxes, and not an association, okay. Association cannot impose taxes, but state can. The state requires finance to run administration. Why state imposes taxes? Because state requires finance to run an administration. State, it collects revenue by imposing taxes upon the people. So there will be so many taxes. There are so many taxes that people need to give. We have like GST, goods and service tax, VAT, value added tax. So many services, income tax, income tax. Okay, so many taxes are there, then we have to pay to the state, and with that collection of money, that collection of money done by the particular state, uh, it runs the administration. No person can refuse to pay taxes imposed by the state. We need to abide that rules and regulation imposed by the state regarding taxes. If any person fails to do so, a state can use force to collect the taxes. No. Now if someone says that no, I don't want to pay the tax, then state can use the method of force, and he can that state can use any means of getting that tax. An association also requires finance to fulfill its objective, but it cannot impose any tax on this purpose. Okay, this statement simply says that association also requires finance. Okay, to run any group or organization, we need finance. But what happens that it is voluntary. Like if you're a member, you can give up money for an association, but it is not compulsory. Okay, and the members of association or the group leader of that association will not say that you have to pay the tax. It's voluntary. Association can collect only membership fee or a voluntary contribution. Okay, so this is very simple. To be in an association, there will be a membership. We need to pay certain amount of money, or we can give a contribution. No imposition of taxes. No association can use a force for collecting its funds or subscription. So association cannot use force for collecting the funds and or subscription. It's voluntary. The association is totally voluntary, free will. Fifth one person can become a member of only one state but of several associations. Now said, an individual can be at one time a citizen only or only one state. Okay, a person can be a citizen of one single state. Normally he or she acquires a citizenship membership by the birth. It's very simple. He cannot simultaneously be a citizen of any other state. So if I am an Indian, I cannot be a citizen of United States of America, because in order to that I need to submit my citizenship, then only I can apply for the citizenship of other country. Okay, so if he or she desires to get a citizen of another state, he has to leave the citizenship of his parent state. Okay, I need to I need to leave this country and go to other country and work there and meet the certain requirements set by that country, then we can get a citizenship. So a person cannot be holding the citizenship of dual state. Okay, he must hold single citizenship. But in association, at a time he can be a member of any entertainment club, also religious association, trade union, and political party. Now a member of an association can join different multiple association. Okay, be it religious, be it environmental, be it social. So many associations are there, and that particular member can be the member of these 3 or 4 5 many associations. He is not required to leave the membership of one association for becoming a member of other association. It's very simple. Now to be a member of one association, he or she does not require to leave the membership of that other association. Okay, he's in a multiplicity. Association works in a multiplicity, as I can join various association whichever I like, and whichever the objectives I can make out that it's good to attain certain needs. Okay, so this is the difference between state and association accordingly. Now, like, I have completed the definition of the topic regarding state and association. Please make your notes and send it to me. Like, I have missed so many classes. Now let's proceed further. So tomorrow I'll be sending regarding nation. Okay, nation and nationality. So kindly before that, kindly send me your notes within 1 hour. Till then, stay safe and take care.